Hello, and welcome to In Sequence, a comics podcast for everyone. Wait, no, this is the cat one. But we are going to talk about comics today, so let all cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, a podcast where we read, past tense, the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Scout, joined by my co-host and fellow panelist Jillian, and today we will be discussing the 2024-2025 graphic novel adaptations of The Prophecies Begin, the arc that started it all. Woohoo! Woo! Hi, Jill. We did a little homage to our other podcast here, because we're talking about comics today.
We're talking about comics.
This is our first time covering a comic since starting In Sequence, because we've had some episodes that were about, the manga, the Warriors manga and stuff, but this is also very different in format and stuff from the James Barry. So I'm excited to talk about this stuff.
Yeah. And now we have all of this extra buildup of knowledge of how to talk about comics. So.
Yes, especially because maybe eagle-eared listeners will be able to place around when this was recorded, but we just recently recorded the Understanding Comics episode, so we're fresh, full of knowledge about the structure of a comic.
But yeah, I'm very thrilled about this. I think you are right. I think it is the first time there's been like an actual comic for us to discuss since we first started the other podcast.
Yeah.
So, Scout, I gotta ask, how's the Prey running?
Prey is running pretty good. I made a new thing this week. I made another great one from perennial all-star Smitten Kitchen. We love you, Smitten Kitchen.
We love Smitten Kitchen.
I made a braised chickpea meal, which she loves to make a braised chickpea meal. Braised chickpeas with zucchini and summer squash. And I made, you cook that down until it's all nice and reduced. And then I made a fresh basil pesto because we had a basil plant that we bought for another thing. And I had a lot of basil to use. And then you put some ricotta cheese in there. You plop that in there and you serve it on like really buttery, hearty toast.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It was great.
I had Chinese food tonight.
Hell yeah!
I am living that bachelor life this week. Eric is on vacation with his family, and that means I get to order whatever I want to order for dinner. Which tonight was Chinese food, and it was so good.
Nice. What'd you get?
Mongolian beef and egg rolls.
Yum. Oh, I love an egg roll!
Zelda did try to steal my dinner.
She is a naughty cat.
She's so bad.
She's so bad.
But yes, it was very delightful. It's been a real bummer living where I live the past couple weeks due to the fact that I am in one of the states that the shit yourself disease has broken out in.
Oh God, yeah. That's right. It's really bad. It's really bad where you are.
It's really bad here. So, like, the other day I was like, man, I really want to get, like, a fucking burrito bowl. And then I'm like, no, I can't have the salsa. I can't have the lime. I can't have lettuce. Like, I can't have my fucking veggies, bro.
They poison the damn veggies.
But, like, as long as it's cooked to a certain amount, like, you can have it.
Right,
is what I've read. So, like, I was able to get, like, zucchini in my Mongolian beef today.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, my God, I gotta get a vegetable in.
Please.
You know that thing where it's like you haven't had a vegetable in a little while and you start to be like, hey, something ain't right.
You really start to feel it. It's so true. I'm so sorry for your plight.
That's okay. It's unfortunate how much I have been craving like fresh veg lately too.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I could go for a fucking salad, and I'm like, I can't go for a fucking salad.
Can't go for the salad. The salad's poisoned.
The salad's poison.
What's that? I saw this post the other day where it was like a drawing that somebody did. Yeah, this was by Rose Finchy on Tumblr. It is a crude drawing of a phone screen where it's somebody typing like to post on B-Sky. Today was hard, but at least I get to have pizza. And above it is a notification that says breaking news, all pizza now poisoned.
Yeah. That's how it's been feeling,
it all
man.
feels lately, and it's so real. Get me out of here, man.
Get me out of here, man. I fucking can't even eat healthy.
Can't even eat. We can't even eat. Can't even eat anymore. At least we know now that we have at least one confirmed source.
One confirmed kill.
One confirmed source. It's bad lettuce from Taylor Farms. Sorry to out Taylor Farms on my Warrior Cats podcast, but you guys gotta get it the fuck together.
Yeah. Yippee.
All right. Outside of food,
Prey's been running pretty good. It's been a pretty long week. Gonna be a long couple more weeks, but the heat's been killer. But you have some fun news from literally yesterday.
Yes, we got our second car yesterday.
Woohoo!
We did it! I went with my parents to the used car dealership, and my mom said, we're just gonna go and we're gonna drive this car, and then we're probably just gonna go home. So we don't need to eat lunch before we go, because it'll be fine. And that was around 2 p.m. And then it was 6:30 p.m. when we finally got home. So I was very hungry.
Yeah.
But I had a new car. Well, a new old car. Really good. Yeah. Excited now. So now I don't have to be so damn hot. I can go to the store and I don't gotta walk there when it's real hot out, which is very nice.
Amazing.
Exceptional news.
We love to see it.
When it's nice out, still will love to go for a silly little walk to the silly little store.
But when it's 1 billion degrees,
when it's a jillion degrees outside, I don't want to take the 15 minutes to walk to the grocery store and then the 15 minutes back with my groceries. It's just too much.
It's too much. Yeah, we went to a baby shower yesterday and part of it was outside, and I nearly fainted doing tie-dye, man. That's fucked up.
You know what? That's just, tie-dye is not something that you should be fainting, Erin.
I wasn't even drinking, dude. I was just having water.
Just water in the dang heat.
Speaking of heat, this shit's fire. That was really bad.
This shit's fire star.
Heyo.
There we go. I made it worse, so.
You did. This is perfect. I love it. So yeah, we've got a little bit to talk about with this one. One of the things, it really was a matter of unfortunate timing. So this episode was supposed to come out like a year ago. Because we were, actually HarperCollins gave us some advanced reader copies, which due to the U.S. postal system, eventually just ended up being reader copies because we got them after the book was released.
We did end up getting them late, unfortunately.
And so that and like our scheduling and everything made it so that we didn't have the time to do it like when the books came out. But I think slotting it in here has been really nice.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Genuinely, thank you, HarperCollins. I know you're probably not listening to this podcast because we swear too much. But genuinely very appreciative of that.
Really nice. And the representative who spoke to us was really, really nice and got it all worked out. So thank you for that. And excited to finally get to talk about it.
For sure. You have cover stuff here. I really wish my Barnes & Noble has not had the hardcover versions.
Oh.
And so mine are paperback. And like while the paperbacks are lovely, I genuinely am like, I might try and like replace them with the hardcovers because these inside covers on the hardcover editions,
they're unbelievable. I know I have 2 hardcovers from the library, but of course they're library books, so they're sealed off to me. I can't get in there. Yeah. So I'll talk about this first. Yeah, the inside covers for these are so pretty. They all feature Spotted Leaf doing mystical Spotted Leaf StarClan things. The first one is her with like the fiery comet that signifies that comes with Fire Alone Will Save Our Clan. The first prophecy. The next one is her like standing in the middle of the fire, which is so sick. I love the second edition especially.
Yeah, she's like looking so sad.
Yeah, the second volume. Like very wistful in the middle of this inferno, and she's so calm, very cool. And then the third one is her in like stepping into a pool of water, and you can see StarClan, the cats of StarClan, like reflected in the ripples in a really cool way. And there's are those morning glories maybe? There's some very cool flowers that probably have flower symbolism.
Yeah, we actually will talk about that later. I tossed in a note.
Ooh, exciting.
But yeah, these are really lovely. I have mentioned on the podcast before, for the first two, I was able to go to book launch events, and I'm really happy that they went and did that for these. The new Prophecy arc has been releasing. I think the first one's out at this point. And that had different artists, and the artists for Prophecies Begin will be coming back for the Power of 3 arc.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see that. I mean, I was also really enjoying the fact that they were going with different artists for each arc, but I do, like a spoiler, I guess, a little bit for my feelings on these, but I do think that this team did a really great job with these, and so I bet that they'll do a wonderful job with the third arc as well.
Damn, I can't wait to see, like, the lake running red with blood. Yo! That's gonna be so good.
I can't wait to see how they draw Soul. Hello?
Yes!
He's coming back!
My boy!
My boy! I want to shout out also, there are alternate cover sketches that are all featured in the backs of these books.
Oh,
I think
lovely.
I think some of them are like infinitely cooler than what the publishing ended up going with. I like these fine, and I understand that they're going for like a theme, and it kind of, matches a little bit with the design of the newest Warrior American covers, like this Into the Wild one in the first volume looks a lot like the Into the Wild new cover and stuff. So I understand why they did it, but there's some that look so much like an old movie poster or like an anime, insert page. And I just think they look so sick, and I'm kind of sad that we didn't get them.
I 100% agree.
Especially in volume 2, I think there's one with gray. There's one with like the top half of it is Gray Stripe looking wistfully back towards the viewer, and then the bottom half is the fire, and I think that one goes so hard. It's so cool.
I really like for the first one, there's it's still just the like profile one, but it is like a almost full body of Firestar, like in kind of a battle pose on the cover, and I think that really I think that looks really cool too. I think I almost would have preferred that. These feel a little too like zoomed in on the faces.
Yeah, I think the action poses are much more appealing to me, and I would have liked to see that more. Because there's a lot of great action and movement when you get into the actual pages, and there's a lot of great action and movement on the hardcover interiors underneath the slip covers. So I would have loved to see that. Also, huge fan of the watercolor color scripts that were done for volume 3 in the back. They're in the back of volume 3. They are so cool. They remind me a lot of Hayao Miyazaki's style of doing watercolor with just like the pencil, very, very gentle pencil work, and then these big washes of color. I love every time I see watercolor stuff like this, I'm like, I gotta do watercolor more often, man. Shit rocks.
Watercolor, I haven't done I did watercolor in one of my craft classes like forever ago.
It's hard, but when it works...
It's hard, but it is very cool.
When it works, it looks so good, but getting it to work, it feels like you're just making gray over and over again. It's like, everything's gray, help me.
I really admire people who can do watercolor.
I know.
Because it is crazy.
Yeah, I want to practice more. I did a lot of gouache for a while, or I called it gouache, but really I was taking like a white gouache and I was making watercolor that wasn't transparent. It was like opaque watercolor, using white gouache, like mixing white gouache into my watercolor and getting these opaque pastels that were really cool. That was, I think, 10 years ago, but I talk about it. It feels in my head like I just did it. But I got to do that more.
Hell yeah.
All right. We ready to do summary?
Hell yeah.
All right. If you're interested in a more detailed summary, can I interest you in the 3rd season of our podcast, where we cover in detail each book of this original arc? We talk a little bit more about all of this stuff. Since we've covered all of that before, I went pretty sparse with my summary, but I still wanted to give us a little bit of something that gives us the structure, basically, of what's happening here. So stop me if you've heard this one before. A young house cat named Rusty dreams of a free and independent life in the forest beyond his owner's backyard. Running with feral cats who have lived there for generations, divided into 4 fierce clans. Blue Star, leader of ThunderClan, fears for her warriors' thinning ranks and invites Rusty to join them, granting him apprenticeship and a new name, Firepaw. Coincidentally, StarClan, the ancestors of the forest cats, just recently sent a prophecy that claimed fire alone will save ThunderClan. As Firepaw excels in his new life, fighting for respect, gaining trust, and earning his warrior name, Fireheart, he makes allies like his best friend Graystripe, his mate Sandstorm, the cantankerous medicine cat Yellowfang, her apprentice Cinderpelt, and his nephew Cloudtail. He also makes enemies, most notably Tigerclaw, a senior warrior of ThunderClan. His ambition drives him to cold-hearted acts, clawing his way up the ladder in a quest for more and more power. First, he kills the clan deputy, then, once appointed to the position himself, he schemes with the like-minded Broken Tail to stage an attack as cover to kill Blue Star and take her place. The plan is thwarted and he is exiled, the betrayal leaving Blue Star paranoid and devastated, Fireheart, ThunderClan's newest deputy, and his own lust for control growing ever larger. He takes over rival ShadowClan, gaining 9 lives and the name Tigerstar, 6 an escaped pack of dogs on his former home, causing Blue Star's death and Fireheart's ascension to leader as Firestar, and colludes with Scourge, who leads a vicious group of alley cats under the banner of Blood Clan, attempting to use them as muscle to take over the other clans in the forest. This plan promptly backfires as all 9 of Tigerstar's lives are robbed in one brutal blow from Scourge. The fate of the 4 clans hangs in the balance when Blood Clan threatens to kill them all for their territory, but Firestar rallies them to a shared cause. It turns out fire alone was not enough. Together, all the cats of the forest, with their ancestors guiding their paws, kill Scourge and scatter Blood Clan to the wind, restoring peace and order to the woods they call home. Until the next grand adventure comes along, of course. Overall thoughts, I had a delightful time with these. I really, really liked them.
I agree. I think the art is so colorful and vibrant. It's really just kind of hard to not keep reading.
It's so true. I was honestly a little bit unsure if I was going to enjoy the level of cartooniness to this, because it is quite, I would say it's quite cartoony. It's very rounded. It's very soft-edged, and I was worried that might feel a little bit dissonant with some of the things we talk about with how warriors can actually be quite dramatic and quite serious. But I think it ends up coming together really well, and the color is a big reason for that. The color work makes a huge difference. And also, I will say, I think the art evolves a lot over the 3. I
agree.
The 3 volumes as well.
And I think one of the other things that is really well done is the fonts and the dialogue bubbles really help too, using those different fonts, different the whispered speech bubbles always having these little broken dashed lines.
Yeah, along the tails.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fun stuff being done with the dialogue boxes that I think really helps too.
Yeah, I really like there is a generous use of the bolded italicized word, but in a way that I think really works to help with cadence.
Yeah.
And it also fits very well with, I want everybody always, not just us. I think we talk about it a lot, but this is, first and foremost, the ages here listed are 8 to 12. This is a book for young readers, and I think it really, really excels in that. regard.
Yeah, I agree.
It's great. It's also very enjoyable as a 32-year-old, but really it feels like a great middle grade book.
Oh, 100%. I really enjoyed it. I definitely think there are some pitfalls of pushing two books into a 260-page graphic novel.
There's a lot of cuts that have to be made.
There's a lot of cuts that happen, and most of them, I think the cuts are fine. There are a few where I'm like, oh, I really would have loved if we had a little bit more time with this plot point or this scene. But overall, I think it was they did a pretty damn good job of condensing it.
Yeah, I think they made really smart adaptational choices almost across the board. And there's things that I do really miss, but I think overall, a lot of the things that I miss are actually things that don't end up necessarily being plot important.
Critical.
It doesn't break the plot. It doesn't make it illegible to have them gone.
Yeah.
And I think there's also some adaptational choices that really highlight the ways that I think the regular books could be tighter. There's stuff combining events that took place over multiple gatherings into one gathering, omitting these moments where the cats go somewhere, leave that place, discuss what they saw, and then go back to that place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the back and forth between places that is condensed and streamlined here. And I think that's so smart and something I would like to see more in the regular books.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of repetition, I feel gets kind of cut down a lot when you're doing it like this. And like you said about the gatherings, sometimes it just does not need to be that long. Sometimes you can combine things.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I really, and again, this is because it is partly stuff from non-core books and partly stuff because it's just a good character moment. I really was kind of bummed they did not have White Claw's death in there when they're coming back from the whole Wing Clan thing. And, White Claw falls off the cliff and dies. And that's a pretty serious moment for Firestar. It just kind of makes it a little bit more giving Firestar more of a superhero sort of story in this book, where it is there's not as much when he is smaller. There's not as much danger and fear.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think there's also, the thing I was going to add is that there's also an element to depth of Graystripe's character that can get lost in not having that as well, because Graystripe felt very guilty about that, and that sort of played a lot into, or at least they attempted to sort of roll that into his relationship with Silverstream and stuff, him processing that. And I don't remember it being exceptionally well executed, but there was ideas there. And the other thing that scene that we miss in that scene is Fireheart saving Sandpaw from falling into the gorge.
Exactly.
Which it's not Rice and Goder's fault that is one of the only sources of
turning points,
actual one of the only sources of early interaction that we have between Fireheart and Sandstorm, and one of the only emotional beats that we have to build their relationship off of. That's not their fault, but it is too bad to lose it here.
Yeah, and outside of the main storylines, the death of White Claw is significant to a lot of RiverClan cat stories.
Yeah.
It is not something that I think someone who has never read Warrior Cats would really care about, but it is stuck in my craw because I unfortunately have read every goddamn Warrior Cats book.
You know what's kind of fucked up is that the thing that made White Claw's death feel a lot more impactful was actually kind of Leopard Star's honor, and I hate that book. I really don't like that book. But that was the good thing in there, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And added that extra depth to Leopard Star that I thought was interesting. I will note this kind of crossing over with the Erin corner, which I am taking sort of as the author corner for this episode. But in my research, I was seeing that Rice and Goder, hopefully I'm saying those names right. I'm sorry if I'm not, guys. I didn't look up a pronunciation guide for y'all. They extensively read this first arc that these books are based off of, but they aren't long time like fans, and so I would bet that they haven't delved into the additional all of that extra stuff to have the additional context that White Claw gets from the auxiliary writing.
There was one like interview thing that I saw with them where they were talking about how like they were mostly just doing the art. Like there was less of their influence on like the writing in general of a lot of things. Like that was just like I think a Tumblr ask of like, you know, we didn't write everything from scratch because like we have the fucking books to rely on. But yeah, I think some things that I am kind of, let's see, what's the other thing that I loved how we got more of Princess. I feel like Princess was even though it was like 2 or 3 scenes, she was a lot more of a like presence in Firestar story.
Opening with Smudge and Princess being his sort of like cats that he knew that are left behind in Two Leg Place, that he hangs with in Two Leg Place, was such a smart choice.
Yeah, it was a really like very small choice, but incredibly smart choice.
Yeah.
And Cinderpelt and Brightheart's like the minor revamping of their storylines, I think, was a huge plus. Making the medicine cat role being Cinderpelt's like choice,
right?
Though I do wonder how that's gonna reflect with
when we get to
whole thing. Who knows? And like the interaction between Brightheart and Princess, where it's less of like, oh my god, you're hideous, and more of like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, do I need to call the doctor?
Yeah, I really did like that. The only thing I think I would have liked somewhere sort of in the middle with that scene particularly, where I think we can get to where we are here, where Princess is not being ableist, but there could still be some of that friction of Brightheart being a little self-conscious of her disability, or like having a little bit more of like an uncomfortable moment of this being like the first time that somebody outside of her sphere is really talking to her about it. Because I do think that there is something valuable in like showcasing that like to be disabled is to be different, and that's not part of like that doesn't mean being disabled is bad or like a negative thing in her life, but it's something that she does have to adjust to. And so I would have liked but I understand we don't really have the time for that, but that's the one thing about that I would have liked to see, maybe just like give that scene a little bit more of that friction back, but in this better framed way.
Definitely.
The Cinderpelt stuff though, I really like this better because it never made a lot of sense when we have Deadfoot literally in the clans.
Who is brought up in this book.
Yeah.
For that particular reason of like, hey, this guy has done this before. Like, it's not impossible. So I think that really works.
Yeah. And also I've seen a 3-legged cat in real life.
They moving.
They're fine.
They schmovin'. Like, I have seen 3-legged animals like fucking book it.
Yeah. Another noticeable, like while we're talking about the disability representation here, another noticeable exclusion is the entire exclusion of the Snow Kit arc, which was about this kit who is born deaf and who is taken away by a hawk. Yeah, a hawk. I was like, is it a hawk? Is it an owl? No, owls are later. I do miss the emotional beat of that specifically just because I'm a Brackenfur girly so much. But I think it was smart to just like, they don't have enough time in this to finesse that story in such a way that it is not just like extremely sort of frustrating to read from a, accessibility and like disability positive angle, and that there was a lot of ableism built into that whole arc, that whole like plot line. There was some interesting stuff in there too, like trying to teach him gestures and stuff. Like, it wasn't all bad, but I can understand just like we don't have time to unpack all that.
Yeah.
And exactly. I think it was a smart choice.
Smart choice to just kind of not.
Another one that is I selfishly miss is Cinderpaw helping the 6 Shadow Clan warriors. We don't see Little Cloud at all in here. I miss him. And also Tiger Star causing Greypool's death. We don't get that here either.
Yeah,
It's such a small, short scene that I can understand how, like, just with the way that the pacing was finessed here, that it wouldn't fit in. But that was the last one I wanted to bring up as, like, the thing that I'm like, I miss it.
It is also just, like, a really good scene of just showing, like with the Brindleface thing, like, how much Tiger Star is, like, he does not give a fuck about who he's hurting.
Yeah, he's truly divorced from the act of violence. Yeah.
He's like, I will kill a mother, I will kill an old lady, I'll tell my boyfriend to kill a kid, like, I'll do it all.
I'll do it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so I did kind of miss that.
Is there anything else specifically that you are glad they cut out of here?
I mean, like you said, a lot of the, like, excessive travel. I feel like it cut down the, like, Cloudpaw. I'm really glad it cut down on Cloudpaw being, like, an annoying teenager much.
Yes, I think Cloudpaw is so good in here.
He's so much better in this.
It's incredible.
I really liked that, like, there was less back and forth of, like, is Firepaw gonna stay in ThunderClan, like, you know, throwing him towards Two-Leg Place all the time, because I feel like he visited a lot more in the books, and I'm like, I think it was a smart choice to just kind of, like, have it be
the one time.
The one scene, I think, was really smart.
Yeah, I think both of those are good cutbacks.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else.
I know, the thing is that we've read so many Warrior Cats books.
We've read so many Warrior Cats.
And so I'm trying to remember what the fuck happened in the first arc in more detail. But yeah, I think I'm really impressed overall with this. Oh, one thing, it's not really an exclusion, but it is a change that I think was really smart. And that is, it's very subtle, but changing Blackfoot's name from Blackfoot to Blackstep.
Yeah.
Just to avoid coming into contact with, like, the name of a First Nations confederacy of First Nations tribes, I think was very smart. And Blackstep also sounds dope. I love that.
Cooler.
Blackstep sounds sick.
Yeah, I agree. And, like, I saw a couple of, like, things where it was like, benefit of the doubt to the Erins, I do not think that was an intentional name choice.
No, especially because they're British authors also, yeah. So it's not something that they grew up with.
But, like, I think it was a smart thing to just be like, yeah, we're just gonna change the name. Like,
yeah, we're just
I appreciate how certain small choices in this book, or big choices as it is with, like, Cinderpelt and Brightheart, and Snowkit, like, I feel like these really benefit from being a 2020s adaptation of a book from the literal, like,
early 2000s, man. Yeah, it was early.
Yeah. So
9/11 had really just happened, and the Erins knew about it.
And the Erins were really thinking about it. So yeah, I think there are a lot of things that benefit from just, like, being updated to reflect more progressive attitudes and, like, things that we have learned as a society, because, like, you know, it was the early 2000s. Like, we know what the early 2000s were like. Doesn't make it okay, but it is what it was like. So it's very nice to see, like, just some of the smaller things where it's like, yeah, this probably isn't, like, not doing it because they are trying to, like, quote unquote be politically correct, but doing it because it's like, no, this is more reflective of the intent of these books.
Right, exactly.
And so,
exactly.
like, these things need to change to kind of keep the intent of the story there. These books did also give us officially gay Ravenpaw and Barley, which is, dare I say, one of the best choices they could have made.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like this specifically is going to kind of not open the floodgates, but I think it is going to, especially as I know we'll see in the next episode, I think it is going to make it more available for the other mainline books to, like, actually kind of put more representation in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I believe this came out around the same time as, when did StormClan's Folly come out?
Yeah, StormClan's Folly, I think came out earlier this year. This was released, first one was July 16th, 2024, and then April 5th, 2025, and September 30th, 2025.
Okay, and StormClan's Folly was August 26th, 2025.
So in between the second and third.
The third book and StormClan's Folly came out around the same time, and both of these books feature, like, the first explicit mention of gay cats.
Yeah!
And so I think having both of these, and I think the previews of, like, Ravenpaw and Barley, like, confirming that they are mates came out before this book actually did, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I think that is one really, like, impactful thing that I'm really hoping we see a lot more of moving forward, like, seeing more representation in the, like, mainline books, because they're like, well, now we've done it. Like, the box has been opened, like, you can't put that back.
Yeah.
So, like, now it is time to, like, I think take that and keep moving forward with it. Oh my god, Zelda.
Dedicate.
Did you hear her?
I heard her little jingling. I heard her going tink, tink, just like in the book.
Exactly. Come here. You want to come up on my lap?
Da-da.
Do you want to podcast with Mama?
Da-da. Let's podcast with Mama.
Let's podcast with Mama. Come here. Let's podcast with Mama.
I heard that.
Let's podcast with Mama. Yeah. The baby.
Incredible cat ASMR happening right now. I love this.
All right.
Even aside from Raven Barley being confirmed canon, I think the gay agenda is alive and well in this book, and I am loving it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. We get a lot of blushing.
There's a lot of blushing.
I really like.
I like it. I like that it's obviously also used often as like an anger blush, which makes I appreciate that as an anger blush representation for me, an anger blusher. But I also think White Storm Lionheart. I think there's a White Storm Lionheart agenda in here. They were snuggling.
White Storm even has a cunty little like eyebrow slit.
He does have the eyebrow slit. Oh my god!
Like,
it's good.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Tragic Yowie.
Tragic Yowie.
I'm sad about Lionheart every time. And like, I know it's coming, but I'm still sad. I also think there's a wee bit of Blue Star Yellowfang in here. There's that one panel.
Oh yeah. There is definitely some Blue Star Yellowfang happening where she's like, I think I could really get to like her, and she's blushing, and you're like, girl.
And then there's one where they snuggle. Very important.
They snuggle.
And I think there's a lot more like played straight, unrequited love vibes with Darkstripe and Tiger Claw in this one, in this adaptation, compared to just him wanting to follow Tiger Claw.
Yeah, he's like his little, he's always hyping him up. It's so funny.
He's always hyping him up. And there's, I think when he's getting exiled, when Darkstripe is getting exiled, there was something about his expression in that scene that made me feel like he's got feelings.
He's got feelings.
Fire Gray is never beating the allegations, but Fire Gray also not beating the allegations. I believe in the Fire Sand Gray polycule. I think that's a strong triangle.
Yeah, I think, hey, triangle's the strongest shape.
Triangle's the strongest shape. You need the three of them. There's
they are a group. Do not separate.
Do not separate.
Some good paneling. Also, one of the things I really liked the most about these is the expression.
The expression work is so good.
There's some really fun faces.
I am such a fan of every time a cat has such a big emotion that they stop having local color and just become like one impressionist color.
It's so fun. I really like the onomatopoeia for loaf.
Whenever they loaf.
When they loaf, it's like a little downward action lines, and it just says loaf.
With an exclamation point makes me really happy, especially when it's in kind of like a serious moment. Like Firestar's about to get his 9 lives and he's loafing.
He's like, it is time for loaf.
It is time. This is my serious loaf.
This is my serious loaf for serious moments.
For serious time.
There's a moment towards the start of the first book where Princess and Smudge look at each other when Rusty's like, I'm gonna go outside. And they both, like, it shows them, like, turning their heads towards each other, and they're like, ooh.
Yeah, Princess's face there is really good. Ooh. I also love that Smudge's collar is a little bow tie. Very important.
Very important.
And Princess's collar, I think not here in these early pages, maybe in the first volume, but in the second volume has a little crown that is her name tag, along with her bell. I believe that's added in the second volume when we see Princess again.
I love that. I like that Princess has a breakaway collar. Very smart. Very excellent parenting. Excellent pet parenting. Good job.
Good job. Good job. Rusty notably doesn't, but it's fine. He lives.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite early panels is the Longtail Rusty fight where Longtail breaks the collar and it's
really good.
There's the snap.
And the pose for Firestar is so good there.
It's really good. And even the preceding page with the tink tink, I really like the onomatopoeia of the tink. Yeah. Throughout these early pages feels very significant. I really like that.
There's a couple of like really good moments, and I'm always a slut for this in a comic, where the paneling and the background kind of merge. When Rusty makes the final decision to leave leave Two Leg Place and join ThunderClan.
I love that page.
There's like 3 even panels up at the top that show him going from Two Leg Place to White Storm and Lionheart. And then the next panel is him following them through the woods, and the woods are kind of like, the background is really vague and not as detailed, and then it slowly gets more detailed in the next panel, and then the final panel has, like, the background of the page is outside and in front of the panel, so they are, like, literally walking into it. It's so cool!
It's really good. There's so much good background work done with these panels, and, like, the use of the gutter as a place to put things also. Like, anytime there is, like, a focal panel or a few focal panels with, like, a montage of other things happening behind it, I go crazy for that. I love those pages so much.
Yeah. Another really good...
Like, what page is this? This is page 65, I guess, but it's Firepaw talking to Princess and saying, I know who I am now. And there's a montage of all this stuff happening in ThunderClan behind him.
Hilariously, I was scrolling on Tumblr earlier and I did see an edit of that with pride flags and like a pride overlay, and I'm like, it is
incredible.
In book 3, there's some stuff like with the art for things regarding Scourge. There is the prophecy that he receives right after getting his 9 lives, where he is like first of all, you got Scourge on top of a massive pile of bones with a like much more realistic looking lion and tiger in the back. Then you have Firestar like running through blood, and how do I describe this? He like runs through Scourge's like upturned claws, and there's this black background, and you can see highlighted like Scourge's eyes and his teeth.
And it looks like he is about to eat him, yeah.
Yeah, he's like about to eat him, and it's so cool looking.
I love those. Okay, I have so much to talk about as far as paneling with the 9 Lives ceremony, and also the 9 Lives ceremony in conjunction with Tiger Star's death.
Yes! Please, say words.
Okay, so in the 9 Lives ceremony, first of all, I love all of these pages. They're so cool. The gutter is completely filled with StarClan cats on all of these. There's the first 2-page spread where it is StarClan welcoming him, and it is like all of the cats that you are about to see give him his 9 lives, as well as some other cats as well in the background. So that's more like specific. And then on the next page, it is the more nondescript StarClan cats where they just have these sparkling star eyes as the gutter to these panels. It's 2 pages with 4 evenly sized panels on each page in sort of a window pattern, I would call it, where it's like 1, 2, 1, 2. And on each of those, it is one of 8 cats giving Firestar one of his 9 lives. And it has a little, the description of what they're giving it for. And that's cool in itself. I really like this as a way to get this done very quickly and efficiently while it still feels very like meaningful. And like this hits, I absolutely don't, it doesn't feel rushed, even though it really is just 1 panel per character here.
And you really like Firestar's like facial expression changes in each one too is just really nice.
Yes, you can feel there like his emotions about each of these interactions, which is really good. It's subtle but great expression work. Also, all of the StarClan cats have like totally white eyes, which makes them much scarier. And I think I mean that in a positive way. It makes them feel much more otherworldly and ethereal instead of just like they're there, They feel a lot more like ghosts or like, saints in that way somehow. But here's where things get juicy. So then we go forward. We have all of this and we go forward to Scourge killing Tiger Star. Iconic scene. I can't imagine having been these 2 artists figuring out a way to do this. Maybe because they aren't like in this the same way that we have been for like 20 years. It didn't feel as big of, if I were doing it, I would be like stressed out of my mind. Like this has to be the best thing I've ever drawn,
the best thing I've ever
this
made.
is the most iconic thing. Yeah. So first of all, we have this 2-page spread, this huge splash page that is almost entirely only Scourge's paw. And just like the claws are out and it is gushing blood off of them. And we have these 2 panels that like the claw is tearing the edges of these panels apart also.
It's so cool.
It's so sick. And the one on the top is like a close up on Tiger Star's maw. And then on the bottom is just, it's Scourge in sort of the more background, and in the foreground in complete shadow, we see Tiger Star and just so much blood pouring out of him.
And he's literally bleeding from the torn panel too.
Yes.
Like the blood is dripping from the panel, which is so cool.
It's so cool. And he starts to make a horrible noise. And we get to this next page. This page is laid out in exactly the same way as Firestar's 9 Lives ceremony, where it is 4 equal-sized panels, 2, 2, 2, 2 on both of these pages. And it is the expressions of everybody around watching him die 9 times in succession as he makes horrible gurgling noises in these really cool-looking speech bubbles that look like blood splatter. This hyped me the fuck up. This is such a cool way to express that this is 9 lives. He's losing 9 lives at once without, they say that, a little bit later, but they don't even use that wording here, but you intuit it because this is laid out exactly the same way as the 9 Lives ceremony was, and it evokes that, and it makes you think, oh my god, this is what's happening. Not even StarClan can help his body recover. And Scourge is at the bottom licking the blood off of his claws, and you've got Blood Clan in the background, the same way that StarClan was in the background, all in the gutters of this, but it's like these dark reds and pinks and purples, and they all look to have terrible little like jack-o'-lantern faces.
Yeah.
Everybody's expressions as this is happening. I was so excited about this.
This is genuinely, I think, like one of the peak parts of this. Even the panel leading up to the 2-page splash, where it is just these 2 giant panels. The first is Tiger Star jumping down
off of High Rock
towards
towards
Scourge, and then you're in Tiger Star's POV.
Yes.
And you get the tink.
You get the tink! You get the fucking tink again!
Yeah.
Of his collar clinking.
And you, like, the fucking anime, like, eye glare with the whip of his head is so good. I adore their design for Scourge.
Their Scourge is so good.
He is genuinely, like, I think he is perfectly designed.
He is, like, exactly what Scourge looks like to me.
Yes. And I feel like they do a really good job of making him, like, look very small, and, you know, that's the thing that's, like, this puny guy, like, can't do shit. Mm-hmm. But also just, like, he's so unsettlingly, like, his design makes him look unsettling. Like, he's much more, like, angularly drawn than a lot of the other cats.
Mm-hmm. He really is, you know, you called out, like, the anime eye glint earlier. He definitely feels a lot closer to an anime cat with, like, the shape of his eyes and everything compared to the other designs. And
I'm so here for it. He's perfect.
I love him.
Widow Kibi.
Yeah, I was losing my goddamn mind about the panel parallels. I was like, it's
so cool.
It's so smart. It's so efficient. I mean, these are big books, but also I know when you're doing comics, it feels like somehow you never have enough pages. I'm sure also when you're working with a publisher and you do have a limited number, you can't just be like, I'm adding another one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, that death, it's so cool. It's so cool. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it all day. Another one that's really efficient and a really cool use of color is pages 90 and 91 in the first volume. It is a montage. It's two montages happening simultaneously. It is a montage of Blue Star training Firepaw, and it is also Firepaw taking care of Yellowfang. All of the Yellowfang ones are wordless, and the Blue Star ones are sort of just her talking a little bit about his training and also about Yellowfang. That's the one where Blue Star blushes. And I love that this is telling two stories simultaneously, and the way you tell it apart is the color script here, like the totally different color palettes. It's so clever. It really stuck out to me. It made me so delighted to see.
Some excellent expressions in this. Yellowfang's expressions are so perfect. She is so shaped.
The way she has no neck.
Yeah.
She's just a
and
head.
And like the longest mouth ever.
The biggest mouth you've ever seen. She looks like a Muppet.
She does.
She and Jagged Tooth both are huge Muppet energy.
Did you have any other panels you wanted to point out? Probably. I see a lot of notes there.
There's so many. I'm trying to remember even like, I really like Ravenpaw's confession in the first volume.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, it looks so cool.
Page 160 is so cool with like the thunder, the way that his speech bubbles go all jaggedy because it's like the lightning is striking in the rainstorm at the same time that he is revealing this, and it's got a great color script there also with like the blues and the reds.
Yeah, I think it looks really incredible.
The Moonstone visit is really cool. I think that was one that was released as like a preview. I love those pages.
Anytime they do StarClan stuff, it is just simply so gorgeous.
The StarClan, all of the StarClan stuff, all of the visions, anytime there is a vision or a dream, a prophetic dream.
And they have like these sparkly eyes. It's just so gorgeous.
So good. Pages 160 to 165 in volume 2, which is Tiger Claw attacking Blue Star before his exile. Those are all just really cool, dynamic, fighty pages. I also love specifically the page where there's one panel of Blue Star in the center, and on either side of her are just these singular images of her eyes, one like looking down and one looking up. And that there's something about like the emotion that evokes, knowing that this is when Blue Star really starts to go into her paranoia phase. That layout really works well for me. And also,
that's such a cool moment.
It's really well done.
I really think like the way that that Blue Stars like slip into paranoia, I think that is done incredibly well in this, and I think the art really helps it shine. Because you can just you can see just how absolutely ragged this girl is.
Yeah. It's the visual aspect really does add.
Her expressions kind of change, and she's always kind of got much wider eyes, or more she just looks so much more downtrodden, my poor girl. Also in volume 2 on page 223, when Spotted Leaf is warning Firestar about the fire in the woods, that's just scary as hell.
It is
Her
scary.
eyes are on fire.
Her eyes are on fire.
Incredible art, but my God, is it horrifying? Is it horrifying affectionate?
Page 179, Yellowfang kills Broken Tail. Huge. I was really I was so torn on this in the moment because Yellowfang does famously have a really good monologue at this point in the book. And there that Fireheart overhears, and that doesn't happen here, but instead we get this incredible all through visuals, just these 3 panels, one with Yellowfang's paws sort of on the deathberries, one with Broken Tail's ragged ass claws next to his little pile of spittle, and then right in the center of those is Yellowfang over the dead body, and it's just this very totally quiet moment. And we have the close up on Yellowfang's eye in this bottom panel too, and also Broken Tail's fucked up little mouth. All of this stuff is such a good way to express this moment and give it really high tension even without dialogue. We talked about Spotted Leaf in the fire, also Fireheart and Yellowfang delving into the fire in the camp. Page 231 specifically, the one that it looks almost like it's a POV shot from Fireheart's perspective as the tree that's on fire crashes down, and you see Yellowfang just making direct eye contact with you, the viewer.
Yeah.
As the smoke and the flames roar around her. That one made me go, huh. And go ahead.
The last 3 pages of book 2.
3 pages of volume 2 go so fucking hard.
Full body shivers. It's so good. It's literally Blue Star's descending panels as the main shit for the next book is popping off in the background. You've got the dogs busting through the wires. You can see wild eyes, huge jaws. And then the final page is all of these huge dog mouths, and in the very center is Tiger Star at the Moonstone. It's so good.
It communicates everything.
It's so good.
And you don't need any words for it. This is comics, baby.
I love comics, baby.
This is fucking comics. Oh, I love these.
I love comics.
I love Tiger Star's 9 Deaths, but I think these visually and just as far as communication might actually be my favorites in the whole thing.
They're really incredible.
Just the idea, the idea of using the dog pack breaking out as the gutter on this whole page is so cool. That's fucking cool.
Man, fucking cool. Fucking cool ass art.
Cool ass art. Any pages with the dogs in volume 3 are also sick as fuck. The reveal of Tiger Star's crimes also really good. The montages are so good. I forgot another thing I had to talk about with Tiger Star's death, which is you look at page 6, the end of the prologue, where it is Tiger Star going to Scourge and saying, I have a proposition for you. And it is a rain falling into a puddle. And then you look at page 190 and it is rain falling into the blood that is still running out of Tiger Star's body with his claws there.
That is so good.
And they are both ending, they are the periods at the end of the sentences of these different moments with Scourge.
That's so good.
That shit.
Wow.
That shit. When I was looking through making my notes today, I noticed that and I was like, oh! Okay. I think that's what I've got for just like yelling about panels, which I think I've been doing for like 25 to 30 minutes.
Honestly, that's kind of what I was expecting us to mostly talk about. Because, like, we know this story. We know this story.
That's true. We've recorded probably like 20 hours about it, at least.
At least. So, yeah, like, I think my general thoughts are, like, I think this is a really excellent adaptation. I think both this and the original novels can really work in tandem. And, like, by the nature of the different mediums, I think they both do different things better.
Yeah.
You know?
Another thing I really appreciated about this is actually the way that it put a little bit more focus on like Swiftpaw and Longtail and Brightpaw and like the other apprentices leading up to the death of Swiftpaw and the maiming of Brightpaw. I thought that was a really smart choice because, again, I think the setup for all of that was weaker in the original than it is here. And I think it's better for being a little stronger and us having a little more context for those characters. Definitely. I really like a lot of the stuff that, like, the ways that we get Longtail highlighted here. It feels like he goes through such a particular arc. And I did notice that when we were reading that arc of books as well, but it really stuck out to me. Oh, I have to shout out one more thing. During the Blood Clan versus Lion Clan fight at the end, Ravenpaw, there's one page where Ravenpaw is yelling at Barley's brothers during the fight. Hell yeah. Giving King. Extremely, you go baby, I got your flower. Shout out to Cowmoji from Tumblr in 2011, probably. Like,
yeah. God, what a good... Oh, I've been interrupted again. Apologies.
Hello, Miss Kitty Cat.
You won't get fed, don't worry. She also is displeased at not being the center of attention.
Of course, I am uncomfortable when we are not about me.
We could just be playing video games together, and she'd be like, hello. That's how Zelda Dog is too. She gets so mad sometimes when I have my iPad out, and she's like, "Why you look iPad and not dog? What are we doing? Why are you looking at screen and not at me? Look at how cute I am. Me, the baby.
And also, I want to be on your lap, even though if you didn't have your iPad out, I would just be sitting next to you and I wouldn't ask to sit on your lap. But because you have the iPad out, I'm mad. I want lap."
Exactly.
It feels like there's a significant shift in the conclusion here towards the power of community versus like the power of belief and StarClan in the final act here. I think that also exists in the original, but it's very, very focused on like the fact that the thing that is this downfall of Scourge is that he doesn't believe in StarClan. Which is interesting, but I think I like, for a young reader to take something away from the story, I like it being more focused on working together. The additional line added here for Spotted Leaf of, remember when I said fire alone could save the clan? I was wrong. I really liked that. I liked that stuff a lot. How did you feel about it?
I think it was you know me, I'm a certified StarClan hater. I think this was a much, like...
Don't give them all the credit!
Yeah, I think this really worked. You know, and like you said earlier, like, they look scarier, and I like that it is more of a, like, this is some crazy power, and I'm just a normal guy, but I can still, like, do what needs to be done, sort of stuff. I think it worked really well.
Yeah, it gave the feeling much more of, like, StarClan being there as a bolstering power to the group, like to all of the clans working together, versus it being specifically about like lack of belief will be your downfall. It's more, it's not about the lack of belief from Scourge. It is about the way that the belief adds additional power to the group. Which I thought was good. I was happy with that. That was my last note that I have. You got anything else?
I don't.
All right. Should I take us over to the Erin corner?
I would love if you did.
Speaking it into the mic, for the record, Rice and Goder are married. Let's go, lesbians. Let's go.
Woohoo!
There's an interview that they did with the official Warriors website about the making of the first volume. And there were a couple of little tidbits in there that were fun and I wanted to mention. One was that Natalie wanted Fireheart to look like a cat you'd see around your neighborhood. This is specifically why she chose to make him an orange tabby, even though technically, which a lot of people do, because like
most of us do.
Most of us do it. But technically in the text, he is described as just like a solid color orange cat. I think a lot of people make him an Abyssinian because that's sort of the closest thing that we get to that color in a real cat. But part of the reason that she wanted him to be a tabby is because she sees orange tabbies all around in her neighborhood, like these feral orange tabbies, and she liked the idea of kids, like younger readers, getting to go around and be like, that's Firestar, I see Firestar right there.
Honestly, I'm 32 and I still do that.
Yeah.
There's a big brown tabby cat that lives in the woods across from our house, shows up to our windows sometimes and bothers the fuck out of Zelda.
That's Tiger Star, baby.
Literally, the first time I saw him, I was like, that is one big, bulky brown tabby. That's fucking Tiger Star over there.
That's Tiger Star's in my woods and he's bothering my cat.
He's harassing my daughter. But she also wanted him to have some shonen anime protagonist flair. I love that as far as Firestar's design. Also, they made his ear tips flame-shaped. I think that was mentioned in the back of volume 1. I think that's so clever. So they have specifically like a little extra tuft on them. Yeah.
So that they look like fires. So cute. And also kept Graystripe's big ol' eyebrows to honor James L. Barry's design for Graystripe.
We love his big ol' eyebrows.
Love Graystripe's big ol' eyebrows. I forgot
to mention the other thing I loved. Buff Silverstream.
Buff Silverstream!
That just reminded me. I was like, oh fuck, yeah, we got Buff Silverstream. Buff Silverstream is perfect. I love her.
Shout out to Buff Silverstream.
That's all I have to say.
I like that all of the River Clan cats do have a very distinct look. You can tell what the River Clan cats look like.
It's really cool. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's very important. Never apologize for mentioning Buff Silverstream. Both Rice and Goder were more Redwall kids than Warriors kids. Wanted to shout that out. We love Warriors. We love Redwall. We love Warriors, but we love Redwall here also.
Yeah.
Also, they said that their cat Tilly supervises and provides some reference. They got notes back on their original passes for character designs that said they were a little too kittenish, and this came because they were modeling them off of Tilly, and Tilly has that kind of permanent kitten look.
Incredible.
I'm going to send you a picture of Tilly from this.
Please, I need to see this cat.
Article?
Oh my god! She's like baby Moxie.
She is, but she's a senior, so she looks really good. She really does have like that perma kitten look.
Yeah. Oh my god, she's so cute.
Yeah, I love her. She's so cute. And she's doing a great job supervising.
Yeah. I actually have a addition to the Erin Corner for the first time in 75 episodes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I did find that Natalie has a Tumblr account that she's answered like a lot of unofficial, like just fan questions about making these books. And she did put out a little mini comic of the plant symbolism for the covers of the books. So each of the covers has a different plant behind the profile of the cat. She says, for volume 1, I chose gorse, the plant that surrounds and protects ThunderClan in the books. And then said if she could have chosen a flower for Firestar, she would have chosen a wild rose. Aww. It feels honorable and romantic while still having those ThunderClan thorns. It is also my flower of choice for an old character of mine who is another fire-themed cat. Yellow Fang has the yew berries or the death berries. Tiger Stars has tiger lilies on it.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that immediately.
Tiger, and also because lilies are very poisonous to cats.
Very true.
Some concepts that I liked but didn't make it to print. Scourge would have gotten barbed wire.
Oh.
It reflects his barren scrapyard lair and mirrors the organic thorns on Firestar's cover, making them more foils, compassion and cruelty, love and violence, fire and ice, brother against brother. Such a cool idea.
Yeah.
Spotted Leaf would have gotten poppies. I normally draw her with moonflowers, so I think moonflowers is the one we pointed out earlier, which I chose to represent StarClan. So like all of the flowers with StarClan are moonflowers.
Shout out.
Which is also the one that she said she would have chosen for Blue Star.
And that's Blue Star's mom's name.
Also her mother. There are 2 different types of moonflowers. She said that she learned one is the mildly toxic one, and the other one that's very toxic and grows on the ground rather than as a vine. It says, I could have used the more toxic one on Blue Star's cover since she's at war with StarClan. I think having a false StarClan flower is a really cool idea. Maybe that could be Maple Shade's flower.
Ooh.
Although she already has maples in her name. Well, I'm not drawing that book, so it doesn't matter. So I just thought that was a lot of fun information about like the choice that went into the art.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm also going to go and just look at some of her art later after this. See some more of it. Let's take us over to sharing tongues now.
Yeah, let's go. I don't have a ton.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, but I saw somebody posted, there's a screenshot of this panel of Barley saying, Ravenpaw and I are headed back to our barn after this. And he's got like these kind of like lidded eyes, like kind of looking a little like a little saucy with it. And this person's like, the graphic novels have their flaws, but this Barley face and speech is not one of them. Those gay barn cats are doing more than rolling in the hay and catching rats. And I just thought that was very funny. The fucking ad that just popped up when I was on that screen, it just said, am I gay test? I don't know, man. You tell me.
Incredible.
Somebody else also pointed out that Brackenpaw is always talking so much softer than Cinderpaw. He's always got like, it's very funny because like I've been playing a lot of Tomodachi Life on the Switch, and they have quirks you can give your Miis where like some of them talk really loud, and so all of their dialogue is in bold caps lock, and some of them talk really quiet and it's all like in this very small font. And it made me think of that, and I think it's so cute because Cinderpaw literally is like all caps bolded.
Yelling.
Yeah, it's very cute.
She's so cute. I love there wasn't as much Brackenfur here as we get, I think, in the actual arc, like books. But it was still so lovely to be back in Brackenfur loving hours for a little bit. I miss you. You're still alive, as far as I know, but I haven't seen you in a while. But I miss you.
And then, genuinely, I think one of the most popular cats from this release has been, among fans, at least on Tumblr, has been Longtail. Everybody fucking loves this guy. He's got such a good design.
He's got a great design.
He shines in these books. Like, they really, like, give him a little bit of extra screen time and, like, a lot more depth, I think. He's just so good. And he's just got excellent looking design.
Yeah, I love Longtail in this so much. And I've already been a long tail apologist. We love Longtail here. And it was so good to just see him get what he deserves.
Okay, yes. So I did scroll back. So we did have a graphic novels chat channel in our Discord when these were coming out so that people could like chat about them since we weren't doing an episode for a while. The Ravenpaw Barley reveal was June 9th of 2025. So the reveal did happen before Stormclan's Folly came out. So yes, technically it was put into the public before. But Happy Pride Month 2025 is when we officially got confirmed Ravenpaw and Barley, and the Warriors side of the internet did explode, I believe.
Yeah, everybody was talking about this. Inescapable.
Yeah, as it should be.
An inescapable moment. Yes, as is their right.
Storygraph wise, book 1 had 4.2 stars with 845 reviews. Most common complaint in the reviews that I saw was the pacing being too fast.
I can understand that.
Which I definitely think, yes, it helped with the longer pacing of the regular books, but again, it is 2 books in one, and so it does go very quickly. More than one review saying, this probably is better for people who had read the books already, simply because there are a lot of character names names, like things about like clan life and stuff. Those all seemed to be, and I'm generalizing. Obviously, this is like case by case, and I'm not like saying this is anything. This is simply my opinion. But it seemed like a lot of those that were complaining about like having to keep up with everything were adults reading it to their or with their children.
It is true. You know, this points out there is a significant omission in these, and that is an allegiances list.
The allegiances, yeah.
I think that would have been really nice, because there was definitely some moments, especially with more of like the ThunderClan background characters, when I was like, who the fuck is that again?
Yeah.
And I've read the books.
Right? And even if it's just like profile images of like the main characters that you're seeing.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to have those. There was one moment where I like was staring off into the distance for a full minute, and then I was like, Willow Pelt, because it took me so, I was like, who is this? Who is this? I know who it is. Willow Pelt.
This review just made me go question mark face. It said, I will not be supporting this series moving forward. Just learned about the many ways it's problematic. No elaboration.
This is like a parody of a review.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the many ways. Okay, cool.
You know, sometimes it's just the things that they got to do to make themselves feel good when they wake up in the morning, and go with God, I guess.
Yep.
It's
get on my soapbox. I fucking hate the term problematic nowadays. Like, I can't handle it. If you're using that unironically, like, there are so many times where I'm like, I just don't want to engage with that.
Yeah, especially when it's just used as a blanket term, and it's like, that's not really helpful. Yeah. Like, it started out being a thing where it's like, this element has problems. It is a problematic element. But now it's just like, this media is problematic, and that is not constructive.
Exactly.
I think it's very funny for them to say this specifically on these graphic novels when we literally spent probably at least 15 minutes across this whole episode talking about the ways in which this has improved on things that were quote unquote problematic in the original arc.
Yeah, that's why I picked this one out to share, because I was like, what a choice that this is the one you're reviewing like this.
Yeah.
Book 2 got 4.3 stars with 406 reviews. Somebody's review was Sex Lies and Big Floofy Yellowfang. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Somebody else said 3.5 stars. That was depressing.
Damn.
Like, okay.
All right. Yeah, some people aren't ready. They aren't ready for what the cats go through.
I did see a lot of reviews from parents who were like, I didn't realize like how emotional this was going to be. I'm like, yeah, we've been saying for
man
20 some years. Somebody else agreeing with me, seeing Blue Stars Decline illustrated makes it hit even harder.
I think there was just also something done with the writing and I think there, again, it's like there's tighter editing there, so it wasn't repeated so often as to become frustrating. It felt a lot more like justified in a lot of ways. There was something about the way that it was written here that didn't leave me going like, Blue Star, so yeah, agreed.
I think it was good. Book 3 got 4.35 stars with 292 reviews. This was one of my favorite ones that I saw. It was minus 0.5 stars because Scourge didn't have emo bangs.
Incredible.
And someone else said they officially made Ravenpaw gay, and that's all that matters to me.
Important.
Yeah, I mean, in general, from what I have seen, like, the main complaints that I've seen from people is, like, folks who are just not a fan of the art style, which, like, I'm not gonna, like,
that's fine.
Art is subjective. You can have that, like, if you don't like the art, that's fine. I like it just fine. I think it's cute, but I also can understand, like, wanting something different. And that's that genuinely is the main, like, if I've seen complaints, that is the main ones that I see. That and, like, a couple of things that they left out. So I just think overall, like, they're really good. Like, I would suggest these to people.
Yeah, I would recommend these. I think I would probably recommend, maybe this is recency bias, but I feel like I would recommend these as like a starting point. And I would be like, read these, and then if you like this, go in.
If you like the vibe, then go in and read the other ones. is. Yeah, I agree.
Because it feels like a really easy entry point.
Mm-hmm. And if you're compelled by it, and then boy howdy, is there a lot more for you.
Compels me, though.
What do you say we move on to our Warrior Cat of the Week?
Yeah. This might not come as a surprise, but my Warrior Cat of the Week was our guy Longtail.
Ooh, very good, very good. I picked Blue Star.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I just think the way that they treated her was really, really incredible.
Yeah.
And I just really liked her design. I think it was really, really nice.
Mm-hmm. I like how all of, I guess Firestar didn't get one, but Leopard Star, once she became leader, she got like one of her spots turned star-shaped, and Blue Star had the star-shaped sort of patch on her chest. I liked how some of the leaders seemed to have little like star motifs added after they were leaders. Mm-hmm. I think it's also a very popular thing in the fandom as well.
It's incredible. I was going to say it's incredibly popular in the fandom to give them like a little star symbol somewhere on like usually the forehead and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, I noticed that Firestar does not have one.
He doesn't, but he does get 2 new stripes on his forehead. Maybe that's like supposed to make more of a maybe star shape. He gets two new eyebrows basically over his eyebrows, which makes it look more like flames, which I think might be where they were going with it.
Well, and like we know Firestar's the leader, so I think for like the more background cats that kind of helps.
As far as Longtail, I mean we talked about it earlier, but I just think that he really stood out as a character that had a full arc here. I liked all of the times that he was sort of brought more forward as a secondary character. I feel like he got more lines, maybe lines that were previously distributed to a larger variety. I really like the way that they highlighted him and Swiftpaw, and like that whole scene. Really love the representation, the adaptation here of the scene where Longtail goes to Fireheart and is really pissed that Swiftpaw hasn't had an assessment yet, and is like thinking that Fireheart is about to argue with him, and Fireheart is like, no, I agree, and he's like, oh, okay.
He's like, well,
this is not related, but I remembered that I wanted to mention it. I'm going to mention it in here. We're going to squeeze it in. Another thing that was a minor change that I really liked was the fact that Cloudtail, so as a kit, he is taught not to eat deathberries, and then it ends up being Cloudtail that saves Sorrel Kit from the deathberries that Darkstripe is trying to feed her. They changed that from, I believe it was Graystripe in the original. I just liked that being like a through line that they held on to, that like this thing happened to Cloudtail as a child, and so he held on to that and he remembered and he goes, oh shit.
Yeah,
also, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say Cloudtail has princess's eyelashes. It's very important to me.
It's so good. I was going to say the reason we didn't put in the channel until the second graphic novel had come out. And one of the reasons is because me and one of the other people in our Discord wanted to talk about how soft and cute Cloud Kit was.
He's so soft and cute.
He did a baby.
I love him. All right. Let me take us out. If you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Blue Sky at Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. We are brought to you by the TWG Podcast Network, which you can find at theworstgarbage.online. You can find me on Tumblr or Blue Sky at HumbleGoat and see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com.
And you can find me on Blue Sky at plot-twists or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. If you liked listening to us talk about comics, you can go listen to us talk about comics even more on our other podcast In Sequence that we do with our friends Matt and Robin. Our next episode of Paws and Claws will be out on August 25th, where we will discuss the 17th published Super Edition, StormClan's Folly. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.
TWG, the worst garbage. Online.